What's up, my Legion of Knights? It's me, Toast here from Gamerster, and welcome to another video. Today, we're talking about 1.19. The Wild update is coming out, and it's going to bring in new mobs, bug fixes, and more. But it's only really wild because it's got the community growing wild. There is a massive civil war between the Firefly and Birch fans and the people who literally just don't care. The Wild update is very underwhelming, and a lot of people are jokingly calling it Caves and Cliffs Part 3 or the mild update. Even if we take the Warren and Deep Dark into consideration, we were supposed to get that like 2 updates ago. So we're going to go in full depth of what's going on, how this happened, and what this might mean for the future of Minecraft. Let's get started. So Mojang is no stranger to making large, grand updates and leaving behind a few small features. It happened in 1.14 with the fletching table and smithing table, but no one really cared as the smithing table eventually got the next update, but the fletching table still is kinda useless, kinda not. I mean, not many people actually care that much about it. But people took this more into consideration when 1.17 and 1.18 were released. 1.17 and 1.18 both were the introduction to the long-awaited and long-requested Cave update, an update that brought forth multiple new biomes, mobs, and revamped a bunch of old stuff. However, due to the pandemic and Mojang's over-enthusiasm, they had to split things apart so that the Warden and Deep Dark could be finished. However, 1.18 still wasn't long enough to make it, so they had to delay it to 1.19, and they spent so much time on it that it kind of just felt like Caves and Cliffs Part 3. Sorry about that. I can't talk. Alongside how they forgot things like the bundles, copper goat horns, and other things. Actually, no, wait, that's actually it. How the Wild update was meant to bring in lots of immersion, which it really failed to do, as Mojang delayed and revamped the fireflies so they couldn't be a food source for frogs, since fireflies are poison to frogs. And they also refused to update the birch forest because concept art is not commitment.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
But at this point, the community got pissed off, and a huge hate wave came on Mojang. It tarnished the reputation they had spent 10 plus years building up, and it all went down in 1 week. They overhyped the community with this amazing update, only for it to fall from the start. I'll be trying to explain both sides of the war, but because I'm more on the people defending Mojang's side, I might sound biased. The community is very upset at Mojang because for 3 years they've been delaying small features like the bundles and copper horns, and everyone's pissed off about it. This is a case of overhyping the community, and they know full well they could never meet their schedule in a pandemic and in such a short time span. It's never been such a serious problem, really, since the stuff we get is always better than the stuff we don't get. Just think about it. It's 3 new mobs with different mechanics and models, 2 biomes, and a million different blocks, plus a million bug fixes, versus useless stuff we'll never really use. I'd rather face an eldritch horror underground than have to face a million lights in my face. However, the fireflies and birches were a massive part of the update that could have been amazing, yet we never got them. This is because Mojang was buying way more than they could chew. They don't have much of an excuse because they knew they were in a pandemic. They knew World War III was around the corner. And with what's going on in the world, I'm surprised they didn't just delay the update and give us all the stuff anyway. Epic Games did that. During Fortnite Season 12, it took so long because the pandemic messed up everyone's lives. Henceforth, Fortnite Season 12, or Chapter 2 Season 2 if you're a new player, became one of the longest seasons of Fortnite. But all other seasons were amazing. Mojang spent so much time working on all this good stuff at the Caves and Cliffs, they didn't have time to create birch forests and fireflies. Just think about it. It took 11 years just to make light lecterns, and it took 2 years to even make the Deep Dark. Mojang is a group of good people who care about the community and game. However, they're still a company first. And since next month is the summer season, and we're probably going to get Caves and Cliffs... I almost said Caves and Cliffs Part 3. I mean, it's kind of Caves and Cliffs Part 3. Mojang likes sending their new updates in during the summer months because that's where school in many areas like US and China and some parts in Europe will end. And since Minecraft's consumers are kids, mostly ones in school, they will hop onto the computer or Xbox and play Minecraft. Mojang can then release their epic update and kids can enjoy the new stuff. If they uploaded it in September, they would have a low case of kids playing the game as kids are stuck in school. Ugh. At least in areas like here, I know that Australia and India are both entering their winter seasons and back to school areas, but most Minecraft players hail from Europe and America, so it's actually a pretty smart decision. In the future, I hope Mojang really learns a lesson about this update and either decide to show less updates or do better on their updates so that they can balance out their mental health and the community's sanity. It wasn't that the update was garbage. Mojang always makes good updates, but it wasn't on the level the community was promised, which is why it was a mess. So how can Mojang fix this? The constant overhyping and the mess? Well, I have two concepts that Mojang could work on. Three, not two. They could ditch their update schedule. Most likely, this will most likely not happen, but if they released their updates whenever, none of their updates would feel underwhelming or messy. This would also be a good breather for the devs as well as a rest for the community's sanity. Another idea is that for each of their massive updates, they can only reveal a third of what they have, and later on show off what's coming up. This way, the community can keep on being hyped up, and the devs can get a rest as they would only be working on a third of the update and not the full thing the whole time. And none of it would feel half-baked. Or they could just stick to smaller updates and never do anything as big as the cave update ever again. That was like a huge mess for everybody. I think really the biggest problem with what's going on and this whole drama is the community. We all knew this update would suck when they announced it before they made the video, and they even apologized. However, everyone on Twitter and Reddit are calling Mojang corrupt just because of this one bad update. It took a lot of other companies far worse and much longer time in order for their reputation to fall over. Like, I remember seeing a bunch of people who were like, let's stop supporting Mojang and instead we should all play Hytale or Roblox. Yeah, let this sink in. Hytale was discontinued years ago, and Roblox is arguably way more corrupt than anything Mojang has ever done. This was just one bad update. Stop acting like they're the worst company in the world just because of that. I feel like this community needs to understand that not everybody is perfect. Like, any other company did this, they would probably be just shrugged off. I mean, if Valve did this, I'm pretty sure everyone would be happy they even gave their games an update, considering what's going on. But when Mojang makes an underwhelming update, everyone just goes insane because they can't handle the idea of their creators being human. Like, they don't understand that nobody is perfect. It's the same reason most of our YouTubers get constantly bullied off platform, because this community can't understand that creators are human too. They just can't comprehend it. It just makes them like go crazy, it makes them angry, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's something I hope improves later on, because I don't want this community to die out just because of what's going on. Like, I was at first kinda distancing myself from that whole dilemma, because I thought, okay, maybe it's just the YouTubers that are really causing this whole drama. But in reality, I think it's actually Minecraft as a whole that's getting a really toxic fan base, since literally people are going after the Mojang devs over this one bad update. I've heard that they're facing death threats just because of this bad update. And it's just a total mess, and it shouldn't be right. That's just my thoughts on this whole idea. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.